The Nissan Leaf is the world's best-selling electric vehicle with more than 280,000 units sold to date, and Nissan wants to stay number one. With challengers like the Tesla Model 3 coming, Nissan is coming out with the second-generation 2018 Leaf soon with new technology. Nissan announced they will bring the new generation Leaf to Detroit to showcase the EV's high-tech features. Nissan announced, the 2018 Leaf will first be revealed September 5, 2017, in the US, and then September 6 in Japan. Nissan says the redesigned next-generation Leaf will amaze your senses and raise the bar for the electric vehicle market. The Japanese automaker will officially unveil the new Leaf in the US at the inaugural Technology in Motion (TIM) exhibition and conference in Detroit, September 6 to 8, 2017. The three-day event will be one of the first opportunities to see the next-generation Leaf electric car following its global unveil. Technology in Motion attendees will have the chance to further explore Nissan intelligent mobility featured in the video above. It's the Japanese automaker's blueprint for transforming how cars are driven, powered and integrated into your lives, through an interactive display on the show floor. The new 2018 Nissan Leaf will be revealed September 5, 2017, in the US. Stay tuned. Subaru of America, Incorporated announced today that the 2017 Outback was named to US News & World Report's Best New Cars for Teens for accident prevention and crash protection technologies as well as overall quality. The Outback is a top safety pick plus from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, IIHS. With a price starting under $26,000. US News & World Report, a nationally recognized publisher of consumer advice and information, evaluated 108 vehicles and named 8 winners in 2 categories, cars and SUVs crossovers. To be named one of the best new cars for teens, a vehicle must have the best combination of reliability ratings, crash test scores, available advanced driver assistant features and top critics' recommendations in the US News Best Car rankings in its pricing category. The Subaru Outback was instrumental in launching the crossover trend more than 20 years ago, with rugged styling that highlighted increased capability. Today, the Outback stands out for its proven safety features including Subaru's EyeSight registered trademark driver assist technology that uses stereo camera technology and integrates adaptive cruise control, pre-collision braking and vehicle lane departure warning. The 2017 Subaru Outback earned the top Safety Pick Plus rating and a superior rating for frontal crash prevention from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, IIHS. When equipped with EyeSight and HID headlights. Debuting on the 2017 Outback model line, reverse automatic braking helps the driver avoid a possible collision when the vehicle is moving in reverse. The system uses 4 ultrasonic sonar sensors located in the rear bumper cover and can automatically stop the vehicle. The Outback is a deft blend of confident design, standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, spacious interior, award-winning safety technology and exemplary fuel efficiency. This proven combination helped push Subaru to new sales records. As of July, Subaru achieved 68 consecutive months of yearly month-over-month growth and the best July ever for Outback sales. US News & World Report is a digital news and information company that empowers people to make better, more informed decisions about important issues affecting their lives. Focusing on education, health, personal finance, real estate, travel, cars and news and opinion, www.thisnews.com provides consumer advice, rankings, news and analysis to serve people making complex decisions throughout all stages of life. More than 30 million people visit www.thisnews.com each month for research and guidance. Founded in 1933, US News is headquartered in Washington, D.C. Subaru of America, Incorporated, SOA, is a wholly owned subsidiary of Subaru Corporation of Japan. Headquartered at a zero landfill office in Sheringham, New Jersey, the company markets and distributes Subaru vehicles, parts and accessories through a network of more than 620 retailers across the United States. All Subaru products are manufactured in zero landfill production plants, and Subaru of Indiana Automotive, Incorporated is the only U.S. automobile production plant to be designated a backyard wildlife habitat by the National Wildlife Federation. SOA is guided by the Subaru Love Promise, which is the company's vision to show love and respect to everyone, and to support its communities and customers nationwide. Over the past 20 years, SOA has donated more than $120 million to causes the Subaru family cares about, and its employees have logged more than 40,000 volunteer hours. As a company, Subaru believes it is important to do its part in making a positive impact in the world because it is the right thing to do. These days, the new car market is saturated with affordable sports cars that double as almost uncompromised daily drivers. For the most part, these are compact vehicles like the Subaru WRX STI, Volkswagen GTI Golf R, Ford Focus Street Focus RS, and the Honda Civic Civic Type R. Unless you suffer from serious brand loyalty, you're probably going to have trouble picking between this tight pack of cars. Trust me, I recently found myself in this predicament. I cross-shopped the Focus RS, the WRX STI, and the Chevrolet Camaro SS1LE while trying to settle on my new daily, and wound up leasing the Subaru. Though my decision was primarily based on pricing and affordability, and the fact that Aaron is an unabashed Subaru fanboy. And after spending some time with the Focus RS lent to us by Ford, I learned that the Subaru makes for a better everyday car. The WRX STI, which starts at $36,095, is a 305 horsepower four-door sedan that's been on the market in its current generation since 2014. Though its looks have changed, its performance and feel remain similar to when Subaru first brought the model to America in 2004, for better or for worse. The Focus RS, on the other hand, is much fresher. Ford began selling the car, which carries a starting MSRP of $36,120, in America just last year. For that price, you get a 350 horsepower 5-door hatchback with a fancy rear differential, and, well, a hatch, something you can't currently get with the STI. To test the Focus RS, I put around 700 miles on it by daily driving it on the streets of New York City and on the back roads of New York's Catskills region. Dirt roads, pothole-packed city streets, and curvy back roads helped me figure out what it's actually like to live with the RS. As for the STI, it's my personal car, which means I've put nearly 2,000 miles on it so far on those very same roads. Both cars are aggressive, but the Focus RS is a hair over the top. As someone who's been known to put up with back-cracking suspensions and aggressive clutches, I didn't think the RS would have anything on me. It's just another factory hot hatch, I thought going into my time with the car. I was wrong. With their suspensions left in their respective non-sport mode, the RS and the STI feel about equal when it comes to ride stiffness. Neither are totally city-friendly or overly pleasant, but when you get the cars on back roads, they both corner flat and are able to roll over road imperfections without rearranging spines. But it's not the suspension that gets me on the RS, it's the clutch. For traffic-free trips, the third pedal on the RS is fine. It's not much heavier than the clutch pedal on my STI, so if you're shifting quickly, it's not a big deal. But when navigating traffic with the RS, I found myself wishing I had some sort of powered robotic extension for my knee and leg. About halfway through the clutch pedal's travel, it seems as though there's a return spring that makes it want to shoot up through the bottom of your foot. Maybe this was something that was even more noticeable or worse on our test car that already had more than 10,500 hard, journalist-driven miles clocked in. But in traffic, it was terrible. Just thinking about it makes my left knee hurt. The RS also seemed to have some sort of auto-rev feature to prevent stalls when rolling off the clutch. It's not abnormal for a manual car to bounce the revs up a bit when releasing the clutch, but it almost seemed like the RS had some sort of electronic anti-stall function. Without touching the gas pedal, I saw the car's revs repeatedly jump to around 1500 RPMs while rolling off the clutch without applying gas. While this could be helpful for novice manual drivers, I found it to be incredibly annoying while parallel parking. Granted, the WRX STI's clutch isn't the easiest to familiarize yourself with, but you won't find the car shooting up revs to prevent stalls at traffic lights. The Focus RS doesn't feel as roomy as I'd hope a hatchback would. This generation of STI might not be available as a hatchback, but that doesn't mean it's lacking in interior comfort and space. In fact, the STI has the RS beat when it comes to front legroom and headroom, and from my real-world passenger tests, it has the preferred back seat of the two. Though nothing beats not having a rear shelf in the way when attempting to carry massive pieces of luggage or assorted furniture, the STI has more than enough room to transport groceries or even a full set of track wheels and tires and other goodies whenever necessary. But it's still nicer to have a hatch. Both cars are back-road friendly, but the Focus RS is easier to drive fast. According to 0 to 60 times, the STI is capable of going from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.6 seconds, and the RS will match that with its rev-holding launch control system. But just because both cars can launch from standstill at an equally quick pace does not mean their performance is matched everywhere. On the roads I tested the cars on, the Focus RS felt far more predictable and dialed in than the STI. The car's all-wheel drive system put the power where it needed to go, to help pitch the car around corners without us having to be worried about compensating for understeer or not having enough grip. Though the STI would likely be able to match the RS in the same conditions, the subby requires a bit more built-up confidence in the car than the RS. TL. The RS feels like a car that any competent driver could get in and drive fast, while the STI requires a bit more familiarity and a more adaptable driver. The Ford has the upper hand in terms of quality barely. Both cars have rather cheap interiors. The Focus RS feels plasticky, and the STI feels low-rent, though it's far better than the previous gen car. But beyond the interior, the RS feels more solid all around. In terms of long-term use, around 2,000 miles into the STI's life, the car has already developed some drivetrain lurch and a slightly audible whine when off-throttle in gear. The RS, on the other hand, feels far more sturdy, even after more than 10,000, presumably hard, miles. Though I didn't experience it firsthand, the RS does have a known overheating issue with its rear differential. Though the STI's EJ25 engine has a reputation for blowing itself up if not maintained properly, the rest of the car doesn't have any issues like the RS does that would prevent someone from going hot for extended periods of time on track. Both cars are alarmingly capable, but I'd rather go home in the Subaru. Though the RS was easy to get to know, had a decent interior, and was fun to race between stoplights in, I'd rather take my chances with the Subaru. Even setting aside the painfully annoying clutch in the RS, I find the Subaru more work, and thus more fun. I've become addicted to getting to know the STI's handling quirks and powertrain intricacies. And then there's the price. Though the cars, both the Focus RS and the STI, can be found as low as roughly $35,000 online, there are still dealers who are attempting to sell the Focus RS for far more than anything close to its factory MSRP. For a consumer like myself, someone who needed to lease a car instead of finance the car was almost totally out of the question. Ford dealers told me that if I wanted a Focus RS, I'd have to lease one through an outside bank, and it would have run me around $700 per month with something like $3,500 down. In comparison, I pay about $450 per month on my STI, with 15,000 miles per year, and handed over just under $2,000 at signing, which also covered fees from switching out of my previous lease early. The Focus RS is a punchy hot hatch, and I'm happy that with this generation, it has finally made its way to America. I wouldn't shoot anyone down who was set on buying one, but it just doesn't speak to me the way the STI does. even if the Subaru lacks an adjustable suspension, a high-tech rear differential, and a hatch.